Welcome to Play in School TV, episode 35. I'm Rich Prado. In today's episode, I give 5 book recommendations. Hey guys, I recently read an article that basically said that the books that are assigned in school that are outside of a student's interest end up leaving a negative connotation or a negative feeling towards books in general for kids for a very long time, even into adulthood. So I have to make an admission that I don't think I read a book for pleasure until my senior year in college. At that point, I think I knew I was going to graduate and things were going fine, and upon somebody's recommendation, I read some sort of mystery novel. Loved it, had a great time, and it was truly reading for pleasure. Now that is something I've taken into adulthood, and I constantly have 1 or 2 or 3 books going simultaneously across genres. Obviously, I've always got a baseball book nearby. These days I have business books or entrepreneurial books nearby, and I always have a mystery book somewhere nearby as well. With that in mind, knowing that I've got a baseball audience watching this, I wanted to make 5 recommendations on books that I like, because my hope is that somebody out here will see this and see one of these recommendations and pick a book up early in life and learn to read. Reading books and educating yourself on topics across genres is super important. And if, like I said, if one person can find interest in a book that I give today, and that can lead to another book and can lead to another book, then these recommendations are going to be well worth it. So in no particular order, I'm going to give 5 recommendations on books that I've read recently that I hope that you like. First, as mentioned multiple times on this vlog, this is the book by Augie Garrido, Life is Yours to Win. One word synopsis: team. Love the book. Love everything about it. Loved everything about Augie Garrido as a coach. I think there's a ton to learn from him and a ton to learn from his method of team first baseball. So find this. I've given away more copies than I can count. I think this time last year I probably ordered 10 of those books off Amazon. You can find them for literally just a couple bucks. So find that book. You'll enjoy it. You'll thank me later. Another book that I've given out a lot that I actually don't have a copy in front of me of is the Matheny Manifesto, which I've actually printed out the manifesto itself, which is about 7 pages. Coach Matheny, before he got into coaching in the big leagues, was encouraged and convinced to coach a little league team, a travel baseball team. And his manifesto, this was a letter that was intended for the other parents of this team. Letter got posted, kind of went viral. You can find it if you Google Matheny Manifesto. You'll find the actual letter that he wrote to the rest of the parents. But I want to read his 3 main goals. This sums up. The book goes deeper into the manifesto, into the letter. But 3 goals, as he wrote, were to teach these young men how to play the game of baseball the right way. 2, to be a positive impact on them as young men. And 3, do all of this with class. I think that sums up Coach Matheny to a T. The book is a fantastic read. You can find the 6 or 7 page manifesto on his website, and you can order the book probably from there as well. I'll link to that. It's a fantastic book. This is a guy who went from coaching a little league team to coaching in the big leagues in just a matter of months, literally. So one of the best in the business. Next book. This is a book that I listened to, so I don't actually have a hard copy. I've gifted this to many people as well. The book looks like this. It's called The Eastern Stars by Mark Kurlansky. The book is about baseball in the Dominican Republic. If you watch baseball on TV, you can probably rattle off more big leaguers from the DR. This book specifically discusses a town called San Pedro de Macorís. San Pedro has more big leaguers to have come from one little town than basically any other town in the entire world. I visited San Pedro a few years ago. I thought this book would be a kind of some good research before going down there, and it truly was. The thing about the Dominican Republic and baseball from a third world country, it's completely eye-opening to see the experiences that these kids are going through, and juxtapose it with the experience that our showcase kids are going through. Our families here literally sometimes spend more on travel baseball than families in the Dominican Republic earn in an entire year. Okay, let me repeat that. There are families here spending more on travel baseball than families in the Dominican Republic make all year long. This is a third world country where baseball is the way out, where baseball is basically the ticket. So very fascinating read. Again, it's called The Eastern Stars, How Baseball Changed the Dominican Town of San Pedro de Macorís by Mark Kurlansky. Cover looks like that. I'll link to it. It's a very fascinating book. I really enjoyed it. So hopefully somebody either listens to that one or gets that on Amazon. More recently published book that made the news this summer and has made the rounds, The Arm. Another book I've gifted to several people. The Arm by Jeff Passan. Hey, it's no secret. Tommy John surgery is growing exponentially. Jeff Passan, I hope I'm saying that right, basically went around the world doing some research into some of the causes of why kids are getting hurt more frequently and younger. So it's a pretty interesting read. Jeff Passan names some organizations by name, was apparently not afraid to go toe-to-toe with some of the big dogs in the baseball industry. So pretty interesting. If you do some Googling, I think you'll see some back and forth jockeying between the author and one of the organizations that he names by name. No matter what side of the argument you're on, there is no disputing the fact that Tommy John surgeries are literally growing exponentially. So, pretty good one, very recent. Jeff Passan is pretty active on Twitter, so tweet him, let him know what you think about this. I'll make sure I tweet him and let him know I recommended the book. Last book I'm going to recommend today looks like this. It's called A Drive into the Gap by Kevin Guilfoyle. Now, first of all, I'm a big fan of Field Notes, the brand that makes little notebooks. This was published. I don't know if you can see the size of that. It's a pretty small little book. This is a book about a father and son, and about, I'd call it a mystery involving one of the greatest players of all time, Roberto Clemente, involving a bat, a very famous bat. This is a book, I can't describe it much more than that, but get this book. I think you'll really enjoy it. I think you'll like the format of it. If you Google A Drive into the Gap, you'll find the website that has a short little video kind of trailer for the book. I really enjoyed this. Again, kind of a father-son story. May or may not bring a tear to your eye, but also involving a mystery around a very cool story. So 5 books. Get them. I'll link to them all I'll link to them from the website. So find this video on playinschool.com/blog. Tell you what, let's be more specific. Let's call it playinschool.com/books. It'll be there. I'll have the links below. Love to know what you think. I'd love to hear your recommendations of any books I may have missed from the baseball genre. This is just 5, so it's not a complete list by any means. Maybe I'll do another one in a few months. Comment below and let me know what books I need to be reading. So guys, I hope this encourages somebody who's maybe not reading for pleasure right now to pick up one of these books and just enjoy the heck out of it and just get lost for a few minutes or a few hours while you're reading. So guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll do another video next week. Don't forget, follow me at Play in School. Thanks.